Hi, my name is Kimora Hawes, and this is my final presentation on The Wonderful Women. It was a group, and it is also the name of the newsletter that I chose. So we're going to go with a brief little introduction. It was started in the early 1990s in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was started by a lesbian activist. Her name was Lindsay Lowe. Lowe was just wanted to create a safe space for lesbian women to build a community, and there were also trips that they went on, and those pictures from the trips are also included in the newsletter. They had trips annually, and it was always the first weekend of May. So why did I choose this newsletter? I chose it because of the current disparities within our government, such as like bills and other things being challenged within the government, which makes it really harder for same-sex marriage or reproductive rights, etc., etc., especially like with IVF with lesbian women, because that is the method that they use to conceive majority of the time. Also because of the mistreatment and underrepresentation of lesbian women in general. So I just thought they deserved a little bit of spotlight for once. So for the issue, I chose, it just was one page with three segments that I split up. So the first segment was the Sister Share program. It is a scholarship program that was created to help women that could not afford to go on the trips. They either raised money by selling t-shirts and sweatshirts, or they would have the women pay what they can and then basically work off the rest by doing things that the group needs to be done. At the bottom of the segment is also a picture of a lady. Her name is Linda Fox. She was also a part of the scholarship. She was a scholarship recipient, and she looks really happy on the trip. So I just included it because I thought it was sweet, and it played a bigger role into truly showing the community that these women created within each other. On the other side of the paper, it has this cute little drawing at the top, and I'll explain what that is later. And then it shows some of the tasks that the women would do to help with the scholarship fund. And then it also says, Sister Share, we really don't know how it began. Maybe it was when Julia Jones paid to go on the trip but couldn't go and let someone go in her place, basically explaining the origin of the group. Well, not the group, but the scholarship program. At the bottom of the page, it had a dedication to Kim Thomas. I'm pretty sure she passed away, but it says she had a soul large enough to feel the wrongs of others, and it has a picture of her, and she's really beautiful, and may she rest in peace. But that was at the end of that paper for the issue. And then I included this part about the women of color. Vicky Porter picks up the banner for Kim Thomas. Kim Thomas was the lady on the bottom of the issue that I chose. I included this because it shows her work, and it shows like why they put the dedication in there. But basically that little picture that was on top of the right hand side of the issue was a drawing that she created of Caucasian women and women of color like joining hands, showing unity between the two, because the group was majority Caucasian women, but they didn't want it to be closed off to just Caucasian women. They wanted to open the group for everybody to be included. So I really thought that was really nice and really special, and that's why I put that in there, just to expand a little bit more on Kim Thomas and her role in Wonderful Women. So what did I learn? I learned that they created a scholarship fund that helped women who could not afford trips, which added to the sense of community that they were building, and then that they were adventurous on these hiking trips. They had a full itinerary. They would be painting t-shirts, they would be making banners, they would be hiking, of course, and kayaking, etc., etc. And these were also very rigorous like things. That they didn't just do like the laid back stuff. They actually did some things within the community, which I really thought was really it was just very based on team building, like working together, teamwork, etc. That's what Lindsay wanted to focus on. So connection to the readings, I chose to connect it to the bell hooks, Feminism is for Everyone. The quote I chose was, feminism is a movement to end sexism, sexist exploitation, and oppression. And I chose this because Hooks believes in feminism, Hooks believes that feminism is a means to end isolation, build strength and community, which are the same values that Love believed in. Wonderful Women was a prime example of the type of community feminism Bell Hooks believes in, and which is necessary for equality, which challenges norms. It just created a safe space for them, and they supported each other, obviously. I also chose the Linda Nicholson reading of Feminism in Waves. The quote I chose was, the wave metaphor obscures the diversity of feminist activism, erasing the local and community-based and everyday forms of feminist practice. Basically, I included this because it shows how groups like this weren't really necessarily talked about within the community. It was very like, I mean, not within the community, but like outside of like their community. It wasn't talked about mainstream, it wasn't on the news, it wasn't in the newspaper, all that, etc. So I just really wanted to shed a spotlight on this because I didn't know about Wonderful Women. There are a bunch of other groups and organizations like this that don't get the recognition, the record, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. The record, yeah, that. I don't know why I can't say that word right now, but yeah. So yeah, that's why I chose to connect it to that reading. And then I included a picture of just a blown up picture of that Kim Thomas painting because I really loved it and how they thought to include women of color as well and how they put it in their newsletter. It was all throughout. I think it was like in there 3 or 4 times from what was provided. And then I had a short clip that you guys can watch on your own, honestly. It's just Womantown in Kansas City is basically a town that lesbian women created so they could feel accepted in their own community because they were scared to like go out in their own straight communities and like they would be looked at, judged about, and things like that. So I just really thought it was really cute to tie in to what we were already learning and what we were talking about. Oops, sorry. And then thanks for listening to me, guys. It was really this class has really been enlightening and fun, and here are my resources, and that is it.